I started Zepbound 20 weeks ago, and this week I finally met my first major milestone. I officially started my Zepbound journey, and this week I have officially met my first major milestone. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Pure Epiphany 69, and this is my weight loss journey. So if you're new to my channel, I started on January 23rd, 2026, and my starting weight was 309 pounds. Whew, yes, I weighed 309 pounds. That was the heaviest I have ever been. And last week, my last weight was 262 pounds. And this week, my major milestone is I weigh 258 pounds. I have lost a total of 51 pounds in 20 weeks. Now, I have tried every diet you can think of since I was 16 years old because I have been overweight my entire life. And last year is when I lost my corporate job of 23 years, and I lost myself as an individual. And so I resorted to food as comfort. And now I had already started gaining weight before my layoff because I was miserable at my job. They had done some changes that I didn't approve of, and I was just not in a happy place. So the weight loss had really started in 2024, and then 2025 when I was laid off, that's when everything just spiraled. I didn't do anything. I just laid around and just ate. And I had an identity crisis. I didn't know who I was outside of being corporate me. You know, that's all I knew for over 23 something years was being corporate. And then I turned into entrepreneur and working on, projects for myself and getting my content up and designing and all this other stuff that I've been doing. And so when I took my first Zepbound shot and I took my first picture, I see that picture and I look at it and I say, my God, that girl was lost. I had no idea who I was. All I knew is that I was miserable. And when I took that picture, I was smiling, but behind that smile, I was really miserable. And I didn't care anymore. And obviously I didn't care because I was wearing this floral shirt with some pajama pants. I just didn't care. I was over it. And 3 weeks prior to that, I had a big fall. A major fall because my weight couldn't carry, my legs couldn't carry the weight. And then come to find out, I tore my ACL and meniscus in my right knee. So that's why I have not done any exercising. And like I said, with the meals, as far as eating, I've tried everything in the book. I said that in order for me to be successful, I have to be able to do something now while I'm on this journey that will carry on afterwards, because every single time I've been on any kind of weight loss journey, as soon as I met my goal, I went right back to my old eating habits. Well, the big contributing factor of me losing weight was that I eliminated alcohol from my diet, and I stopped eating sweets. And would I say I was an alcoholic or become an alcoholic? Probably. But I just know I always was, every night I had a nightcap. I'll just leave it at that. And then in the video of me doing Crown Royal, tasting Crown Royal, I couldn't take it. It was awful. It tasted nasty. I could not drink it. So I don't buy it anymore because I can't drink it. The last time I had a drink is when I went back to go get my dad last month, and we went to Red Lobster and I ordered me a Kickin' Mule. It was horrible. I could not, and that's one of my drinks that I like to drink when I go out, and I couldn't drink it. So the fact that I'm not drinking any alcohol and I don't have a taste for sweets, I replace sweets with fruits. And like with alcohol, I drink water or my Diet Dr. Pepper. That's all I have a taste for. And so I have been maintaining that, and I will continue to maintain that. That is something that I can do. So I don't consider, it doesn't feel like I'm dieting, if that makes sense to you guys. that before, when I was on keto, I knew, oh, it's a carbohydrate, I can't eat it because it's got carbs in it. And I felt that I was being deprived. And now I don't feel like I'm being deprived. Right now, I am on my last restarter 2.5 because I had to restart after being off for 8 weeks. And then next week, I start my 5 milligrams. So that'll be interesting on how my body adjusts to 5 milligrams. If you've been watching my videos, the last 3 weeks, I had been severely fatigued on the 2.5. And I don't know if it has to do, it should not, but it's interesting that my PCP gave me the vials of Zepbound 2.5. When I started my Zepbound back in January, I was on the pen. But when I started that 2.5 on that vial, I was nauseous. I was fatigued for the first 3 weeks, couldn't get out of bed. So last week I decided, let me drink some protein shake, a Premier protein shake, before I take the injection. And I noticed last week I did not have any fatigue whatsoever. I took my shot yesterday after taking a protein shake. So far I don't even have any fatigue. So I think the key for me is that I do have to eat something before I take the 2.5. Now I'm going to follow that same thought for the 5 milligrams just to make sure that I am not fatigued or anything of that nature. So that is all that I have for my week 20 of 51 pounds down on my Zepbound journey. And I will see you next week when I take my 5 milligrams on week 21.